I was just about to start cooking my food, just about to start the fire, and I saw a grizzly bear. I'm not sure I last saw it over there. It was wandering kind of on the outskirts by the trail over here. Jeez, that's scary. It was really close to me before I noticed him. Hi, it's Sean from Journey, Alberta, and in this week's video I thought I would talk about bear safety in the Rocky Mountains. Earlier this fall, I was camping at the Elbow Lake backcountry campground in Kananaskis when I encountered a grizzly bear. So I thought I would take the time today to go over some bear safety with grizzly bears and black bears. So how the story of my bear encounter in Kananaskis goes is I was about to cook my dinner at one of the communal fire pits at Elbow Lake Backcountry Campground, and I got all my food ready, and I realized that my lighter to light the fire was back in my tent. So I went back to my tent, I grabbed my lighter, I came back, and as I was bending over to light the fire, I hear a kind of rustling in the bushes and a kind of noise, an animal noise about 8 feet away from me on the other side of the picnic table that I had my food at. It just so happens that on the other side of that picnic table in the bushes, a huge grizzly bear had its back towards me. So now at this point I'm thinking, okay, what do? Do I go for my bear spray, which was on the picnic table closer to the grizzly bear, or do I slowly back away from the grizzly bear? I opted to slowly back away from the grizzly bear, back to my campground, and at that point I decided I'm not staying here. And as you can see from the video clip at the beginning of this video, the grizzly bear actually walked down the path by my tent. The clip that you saw at the beginning was just the aftermath of the grizzly bear walking down that path. And I decided I'm taking everything down, I'm getting the hell out of Dodge, as the saying goes, because I was supposed to be out there for 2 nights alone, and I know I wouldn't have gotten any sleep if I would have stayed out there. Plus, there was nobody else supposed to come out there to camp for at least 3 more days. So I chose to be safe, and I got back to my car. I hiked back safely. So that's my experience with a grizzly bear, and a bit my first bear encounter actually, well, in the Kananaskis backcountry. You may be wondering though, what would have I done if the bear had attacked me? Now that was the purpose for me making this video today, because there are different things that you do for grizzly bears than you do for black bears when they attack you. There are 4 steps that you must take for both bears if you are attacked. First, I'm going to go over what you should do in the event of a grizzly bear encounter. You should have your bear spray at some point on you that can be easily accessible. And if you read your bear spray canister, you will also see the distance that it can be sprayed up to. On mine, it's about 5 to 6 feet, so the bear's got to be pretty close before you can use it. That's the first step, using the bear spray. Number 2 is don't run. If you run, grizzly bears perceive you as prey. So that's the second step, don't run. Pretty much just stand there. Don't try to intimidate them. They will take that as a threat and they will act aggressively. Number 3 is you pretty much get into the fetal position, cover your neck with your hands, and you lay down pretty much. And that leads into step 4, which is play dead. Now, once you start to play dead and the grizzly bear starts to think you're dead, then they will not be as aggressive to you anymore. They will most likely stop the attack and move on. Now, there's always rare cases where that doesn't happen, but most of the time that's exactly what to do, and that's what experts recommend as well. Moving on now to what to do if you encounter a black bear. The first step is the same as the grizzly bear with your bear spray. Get it ready and shoot it off when it's about 5 to 6 feet away as directed on your canister. Number 2 is different though than a grizzly bear. I said with grizzlies, you don't act aggressively and you don't try to make yourself big and threatening. Black bears, you do that. You make yourself look huge. If you have a backpack, I would almost take it off and hold it up beside you. Make yourself look really big and yell and scream and everything like that. Most of the time, a black bear would be frightened off because of that. Moving on to step 3 now. Step 3 is don't climb a tree. Black bears are very good at climbing trees, and they will climb a tree and get at you if you try to climb one. Pretty much for both bears, don't run, because they can outrun you and they will catch up to you very fast. And number 4 with a black bear is if it starts to attack you, fight back. Because black bears they're smaller than grizzlies and they're more easily intimidated. So if you're fighting back and giving the bear quite a challenge, it won't like that, and most of the time it will take off. One more thing to mention to do with bear safety is try to make sure that you are traveling in groups. I travel alone sometimes out in the backcountry. That's okay, but make sure you know the proper steps to take if you do encounter a bear. I actually happen to have a huge knife on me as well whenever I go out into the backcountry, whether it be alone or with friends. And there are many places as well that also recommend a minimum number of people traveling out into the backcountry just in case of a bear attack, because if there's 4 people, there's a lot less chance that the bear will attack. Now that's all for today in terms of bear safety. I hope you've enjoyed watching, and until next time, thank you. If you enjoyed this week's video, make sure to leave a like and comment. Subscribe for new videos every Friday, and check out the last 2 weeks' videos by clicking right on them.